Hey everybody, it's a little after 22 UTC, just giving a Bitcoin market update. So first off, yeah, we got some volatility. There's a lot of stuff coming out today, but continuation downside. Obviously, it was kind of a sell in the news event, as kind of expected, from the summit at the crypto summit at the White House. In any case, looking at the long short ratios right now, obviously we're breaking down. We're seeing an aggressive attempt by retail traders to long it as we're going down. Yeah. So still looks like pain is on the menu, at least locally. So moving on at the funding rates were actually nicer earlier in the day. They were more neutral. They were closer to zero. They've come up quite drastically. They're kind of leveling out at their standard zero point zero 0.01. Bybit, Binance, BitMEX, all of them effectively back towards that kind of standard 0.01%. Looking over to the liquidity delta chart. So interesting one locally is the fact that we have a lot of aggressive perpetual and spot buys here. And the interesting one is really simple. If we don't hold the low here at 85.5, the expectation is we're going straight to 84, right? It's a nice chunky move down. It clears the gap of 0.7% movement that takes 100x leverage and 1.4% leverage that takes or percent of price movement that takes 50x leverage. So if we lose that low, we're going to 84. That's the expectation. On the liquidation side, in the last 48 hours, yeah, we're building on both sides. It's still not massive by any amounts. I would say the more interesting ones really at the 2 week level. And if we look at kind of like the last period that we kind of talked about yesterday, we said, well, what's going to happen if we swing fail this high? We lose 90, reject 92K. Pretty good chance we sweep the lows down here at 85. And we got the sweep of them, got the pop back up, swing failing back down to test the lows. We've got some liquidations down here at 84K. It's not massive, but it's definitely there. The short liquidations are still very much above us. So I do think that this ends up right now with any type of regain getting back above call it 91K, we probably start looking for a squeeze back to go higher, to retest stuff at 96.5 and above that to really start, potentially taking out short liquidations, which have had a free ride for quite a long time. On the liquidity order book, so these are resting limit orders. We had some downside pressure, obviously stepping in earlier in the day. That's been in place for quite a bit. As the whole thing goes, yeah, pushing price down. We definitely have some local stuff that just stands out, saying, yeah, a couple hundred Bitcoin positions here just holding us from 94, 93, 91 over the weekend. I'd expect if we actually just go flat and stagnant, that's kind of the hope that these get pulled coming into a Monday open. Anyways, moving over to the chart itself for general plan in this area. So you're still looking for downside. You've actually got you had two refills for that potential short to continue that going lower. We talked about the 92K short earlier in the week. That's still playing out. There's untested levels right here at March open, which is 84.3, as well as down to 82.8, call it 83K. You can go as low as that, but I would expect that if we do get some kind of nasty retest, we get somewhere in this general 84, 83.5K test as far as the zone. If we hold that low, then that's a big if. Then we should be seeing some higher lows and some pretty big bounces to come back up and retest stuff like the yearly open. That's just the number one thing. If we lose this low, we have to go to 80K. There's nothing else to do. We go straight to 80K. So here's the general idea is you're still kind of grinding down. It is the weekend, and that's just the direction of travel, obviously. If you have any regains that really matter, you want to get back above 90K, get back above effectively these highs. This daily open right here, 89.9. Any regain of 90K should open up a potential retest back towards the yearly open. So keep an eye on that. But for the time being, it looks like you're still going down to 84K and potentially going lower. So the fundamental changes that happen on the chart are very simple. We're in a squeeze. We're effectively just playing this thing out, right? We can all visualize that. And where the actual trend line is and why we don't use trend lines is because they're nonsense. It just shows out a general pattern, but we care about the horizontal levels, the price action gaining or losing, and bearishly or bullishly backtesting levels, obviously. So we still got some downside priority. We're going into the weekend. We're hoping for sideways and flat, maybe get a bit of a nuke on the open, and then we get some breakout moves going higher. Any loss of this low, obviously, any loss is a move to make new lows. I think we don't hold the low on the next like retest. I think we just break it and go lower, spook everyone, fill the CME gap, do all that jazz. But for the time being, your two main levels are, this is a profit zone on some shorts, definitely regaining of the daily open, effectively 90K. This starts to open up a retest towards the early open, but until that happens, you have local priority down, and that's just the way it is. So hoping for a flat sideways weekend, not a huge CME gap. The CME gaps have been filling. That means that, from the close on the CME on Fridays to the open effectively on Monday, there, whatever the price difference is, that's the gap. And they have a very high fill rate. So play it out. Watch the weekend stuff. Absolutely. If you're looking for weekend trades, look into alts and watch Bitcoin dominance. That's the big one. That's it. Take it easy. Catch you Monday.